All right, we are live right now. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, dude, practice makes perfect. I can't believe we are actually live and it is
Oh, there it is.
dude, it's not even 7:30 yet and we're live finally.
Finally, huh? Look at that. Hopefully it works. And people, first and foremost, I'm hoping that my feed is better than last time because it didn't come out as good. So I changed things up a little bit. So I'm hoping it works.
Yeah, it looks really good right now. Like I could see it. It's actually clear. You could use a little bit more lighting, but you know what?
Next time.
We'll let it go for now. For now,
Absolutely.
we'll let it go.
Yeah.
I think it looks pretty good. You know what I mean?
Oh, I heard some music there.
Yep. Is the music too loud, guys?
No, I think you're good, man.
Sweet. Man, that's like 242.
We got the chat going too.
We do. Hey, what's going on, guys? How are you guys out there?
There you
What is
go.
going on?
We got people, Ray.
We do have people. Hey, you know what? That is a start, right? I mean, first of all, we were able to get on the live stream without any issues, and we have actual people out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
we're super-
tell the people what we're gonna do tonight, Ray.
Yep. So basically, guys, as you guys saw, we Obi and I recently did a collaboration. We were out in Stump Pass, so kind of what we want to do today is kind of recap that ride, kind of share with you guys a little bit more about the area, perhaps things that we missed on the video. Also, talk about some of the behind the scenes things that I mean, we encountered some stuff that day. It wasn't always as how can I say it?
Flies and rainbows.
Yeah, it was definitely not all blue waters and sunshine. How's that? To keep it in the theme here.
Sure.
But we also want to spend some time with you guys, maybe doing a little Q&A session. For those of you guys that have questions for Mr. Obi Ski TV, feel free to fire them away. Again, nothing formal here, just simply we can't wait to share about our Stump Pass adventure, guys, because man, I don't know, Obi, but that ride definitely is at the top of the list.
Listen, man, it was my first time there. I'm gonna tell you guys watching, right? It is unbelievable. Here's what I'll tell you guys is it started off with my thought process about the ride being really about Boca Grande. That's what I was really looking forward to. I had seen videos online, and Boca was somewhere that I was thinking this is going to be epic. So that was what was going to be my highlight of the trip. But then Ray said, listen, we're going to start off at Stump Pass, and then we're going to potentially go to Boca. So I was like, all right, cool. I wasn't expecting much from Stump Pass only because I had never looked it up. Like I never saw it online. I never seen any videos of it. So I was just kind of thinking, it'll be the first stop. We'll probably hang out there for a little bit, grab something to eat, and go. But let me tell you guys, when we pulled up to Stump Pass, first of all, it felt like, for those of you guys that have ridden to Florida Springs, it felt like we were pulling up through a spring, just how clear that water was. And I knew it was going to get even better because the sun wasn't even out. Obviously it was, but it was covered by clouds. It was a cloudy day. And I knew that eventually the sun was going to pop up. So when I saw the water that clear, I was like, oh, this place looks awesome. Then Ray pulled up to a nice little spot. And once I threw the drone up, because it was a little bit sunny, I remember I told Ray, I was like, hey, Ray, I think this will be a good time to throw the drone up because the sun's starting to peak. And I saw the other side where the beach was. Oh, my God. That water was unreal. I think shortly after that, Ray, I said, hey, man, I got to do a reel or something where I jumped on my ski and I was riding through the Stump Pass and I dove off the ski because I wanted to pet a great white shark. But that idea came to me only because that water, it was just unbelievable, man. So as much, and here's the second thing. I think we absolutely have to go back, especially to Boca, because we really didn't explore it at all. We just made a quick stop and we headed back. When I threw the drone up at Boca, oh my goodness, when I was looking at my footage for my video, oh my God, there's sandbars everywhere. So Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. That is a must for multiple visits. Multiple visits. Visits A to explore and bring you guys more videos. And the cool thing is, it's going to be stuff that you haven't seen in the first videos. But
Yeah.
B, just to hang out with the family and friends. It's just a perfect spot for that stuff.
Now, one of the interesting things about Stump Pass, right? It's all about the day, right? As you saw, right? We got there in the morning. The water looked good, but it wasn't like what we saw later in the day once that sun came out, right? So it's kind of like you got to make sure if you're headed to Stump Pass, it's got to be a bright, sunny day, right? It also has to be in at times of the day where it's the tide is a little higher. That area, low tide, is freaking rough. I mean, you saw it, Obi. Even at high tide, there were
Mm-hmm.
still many shallows in that area. So definitely be careful if you guys head out there and you've never been to the Stump Pass area. But let me tell you, if you can catch Stump Pass on a sunny day like what we encountered, I mean, it's like being in the Bahamas, I kind of feel, don't you? Like, or the Keys, I
Awesome.
think we were saying.
Yeah, it's awesome. It was unbelievable. And the cool part too is that there's so many areas where you can just, for lack of a better word, you can camp out at, like you can beach your ski or your boat, whatever it is. And you got plenty of room. You can hang out. You can obviously bring some snacks, some water, some music. And man, listen, you can call it a day just at Stump Pass. You don't even have to go to Boca. That's how awesome it is. But if you're going to plan to do both, it's an adventure. I will say that. It's definitely an adventure. And be prepared. Be prepared to see a lot of dolphins.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure, man. My daughter was freaking out. And look, we see dolphins all the time, right? But this time, I mean, dude, they were like literally like next to the ski. Like I could have reached out, you know what I mean, and touched one.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was just it's just sick. It is
It's cool.
that area is unreal. So I didn't tell you, right? So this week I actually went back to Boca, not on the ski. The ski's a whole another story that we got to talk about, by the way.
It is.
But
Right.
we went out, by car. I think it was yesterday, and dude, while out there, I got a chance to walk on land by Boca Grande Sandbar.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I just uncovered so many freaking places that I've yet to see that we can get to on our ski right in that area. So you're right. We definitely are going to have to make it, make it a point to make it back out there again.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Just for reference sake, I know this doesn't have anything to do with our trip, but I'm actually meeting some friends from Jersey this weekend. I'm going to head down to, not on the skis, but we're going to be down in Siesta Key for the weekend. So I'm debating. I might, depending on what we do, I might go ahead and drop a small little video of that Siesta Key area, just because I know a lot of people talk about it. It's generally the highest referenced beach in maybe all of Florida, not counting Miami Beach. But it's generally regarded as like the most beautiful beach. Obviously, people have their opinions, but it's beautiful. The sand is awesome. So I'm going to head to Siesta and maybe some nice drone shots. We'll see. We'll see what I capture.
Yeah, no, that Siesta Key is absolutely it's a really, really beautiful spot. I'm spoiled because I have Siesta, I have Lido, I have all the Anna Maria Island beaches, like literally within 20-minute drive, within a 20-minute drive. But I gotta say, I love Siesta Key, but my favorite beach in this area, it's got to be like South Coquina Beach and Holmes Beach and Anna Maria Island. It's Siesta Key like water and sand, but without the traffic and without all the beachgoers. Right.
Yeah. Siesta Key is so. I remember when I first got here back in 2005, when we would go to Siesta, and it felt like it was a quaint little beach town that nobody heard of. Now it's huge. And so I agree. Anna Maria Island is absolutely beautiful. Coquina Beach, the water is beautiful. So yeah, I agree with you. I think I will tell you, man, I have a good friend of mine that he recently saw the shorts I put up of Stump Pass. And he's telling me that he's been seeing the videos for years and he just wants to move to Florida. And he's got family that live in Orlando. And I said, listen, man, anywhere in Florida you move to is awesome. But if you live here, you know what that traffic looks like. But more importantly, I told him, I was like, listen, buddy, this whole Tampa to Sarasota area, it's like heaven on earth, man, because the beaches, the rivers, you're located within everything. I'm not the type, I'm not a big Disney guy. But if you're a Disney person, Disney's an hour away. Like, it's perfect, man. You're by. I'm 25, maybe 30 minutes from Tampa. You know, I'm an hour from Siesta, Northport, Englewood. Like, it's just perfect, man.
Dude, you want to know what's funny? It's like if you're watching the video behind us, now it's switching to our Siesta Key video.
Look at
So it's
that.
just interesting because earlier you said the blue water. It's like listening to you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, it is.
But
Absolutely.
you know, it's interesting that you talk about Siesta Key and Anna Maria Island because you know I follow a lot of the local pages and stuff. The sad part
I was gonna say,
is
by
that
the way, the Florida ski rider says that sandbar is incredible. Oh, is it?
oh yeah, no, it is, and also the one you know there's also a sandbar right by South Lido Beach. I mean, you got to catch it on a good day because it's right there in the little like inlet, right? And it can get a little crazy, but that is also a really, really nice area there. Um, but listen, so
The
a lot of
nature
people, what's
coast.
that?
No, I said the nature coasts, Randy. The nature coast. By the way, real quick, um, for those of you guys that are watching, I know sometimes people ask, like, "Hey, you know, when you guys riding stuff like that?" Uh, I'm fairly confident. Probably by maybe middle to end of next week, I'll know, you know, kind of for sure. But I think I'm going to be heading with the family over to the Florida Ski Riders Peanut Island excursion. So for those of you guys that want to hit up the East Coast, that looking for a beautiful spot, Peanut Island is awesome. So I think I'm going to head over with the family there. I'll probably let you guys know on my either IG or Facebook, but it's looking good. It's looking good for me to make that ride.
Hold on. I just realized we got a commercial back here that I've been giving props to
Yeah.
here with no payment. There we go.
Guys, Ray's got to pay the bills. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, this podcast is brought to you by Kirkland Water. I'm kidding. I wish.
Yeah.
One can only wish. Costco, or if
So,
anybody from Costco is out there and you're listening, please, we
Ray,
definitely use the Kirkland sponsorship.
Ray, let me ask you a question, because the last podcast that we did, let me take these glasses off. Maybe that'll be better. So the last podcast that we did, right? You asked me questions. So I have one question for you, because you kind of teased the folks that things weren't always rainbows and butterflies on this ride. And I think you mentioned something about a ski. So you want to tell us what happened?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. So when we were on our way back from Stump Pass Sandbar, or no, not from Stump Pass, we were actually in Boca Grande Sandbar. So we were quite a distance from the boat ramp. My wife pulls up next to me. Brooke pulls up next to me, and she goes, "Hey, my gas tank just went from being down 4 bars to being full, right?" And I just kind of neglected it. And I'm like, oh, maybe, you know, a lot of the times what happens is, you know, depending on if there's a lot of wake and things like that, you know, it's common for the fuel to slush around, right? And I just kept riding. About, I guess, 5 minutes into the ride again, she goes, I lost my reverse again, right? And for those of you guys that have been following the channel, you guys already know. I mean, her ski was down last year for about 2 months, right? And with an IBR issue. So they replaced the IBR module. We got the ski back literally 3 hours later, which was when we were out there in Stump Pass filming the adventure. The whole ski basically loses IBR. Gas light starts flickering. Anyway, the thing just goes bananas. And by the way, huge shout out to the guys at West Coast Power Sports. I mean, those guys and Sea-Doo, like in terms of warranty, those guys have been like super, super awesome to work with. I mean, I guess to put it in perspective, I do take really, really good care of our skis. Like if you open up our skis or you look at them, you would never even be able to tell that we ride on salt water. So I think that's part of it also, right? It's like it's clear that we don't neglect our machines. But anyway, I just got a call back from, so we limped it back to the boat ramp, right? That was freaking interesting, by the way, Obi. I think you missed it, but trying to get the ski over to the dock, dude. It's so crazy how much like technology can change your riding experience. Because I remember back in the day, I had skis with no brakes and no reverse, and that was like whatever, right? It was fine. I could go in a dock, I could do whatever. Now you get, dude, you get so spoiled that I felt like I was starting to play ping pong with the docks. You know what I mean? Like, how the heck do I even get the thing in there? But anyway, you know, I just got a call back, Obi, and they said it should be about a week or so.
Okay,
I guess one of the harnesses were bad, so they're just replacing a harness, making sure everything is
good.
good, and
That's
we're
good.
gonna have it back, dude. I'm dying to
Awesome.
ride.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And so I think one thing that Ray left out, which was I thought pretty fortunate, is correct me if I'm wrong. It's Lemon Bay, right? Where we left from.
Yeah, we left from
Yeah.
Lemon Bay, correct? Yep.
So once you leave from Lemon Bay and you cross under a bridge, you go a little bit further out and then you pull to the right to pull into Stump Pass. So on the way back, before we cross that bridge, it's they have channel markers because outside of the channel markers it's pretty shallow. So because of the shallow water, Ray and Brooke were able to get off their skis and able to
Oh, yeah.
switch skis, and Ray was able to somewhat diagnose what the issue was, and he was able to kind of clear that up. But if that was in dark, murky, deep water, I don't know if people are jumping into the water as easily.
I don't know if I would have jumped into the water as easily, but you want to know what's even more interesting, right? If you really think back, what was the last words before we all took off that my wife said when we were leaving Boca Grande Sandbar?
That we
Do you
were leaving
remember that?
Boca. I don't.
Okay, she goes, "Do you want to take the golf back?" Remember that?
I don't. I must have been.
Okay,
I must have been taking in the views.
so she asked me, she goes, "Hey, do you want to take the golf back instead of taking, going through the channels?" And I go, "You know what? Normally I would, but we're already here. Let's just go this way." I get it's all no wake and it takes longer, but you never know. Dude, if we would have been on the golf, like, we would have obviously made it out, but it just would have been more of a pain because the ski was on limp mode. So it
Correct.
wouldn't let me go like over 10 miles an hour. It was just whatever. We made it back, dude. That's all that matters.
Yeah, yeah. And so obviously, I think the important thing to take away from that story is, you always want to ride in tandem. You always want to ride at least more than one person, uh, specifically for reasons like that. Just because, let's just say, if, for example, it was just Ray by himself on that ski, it's not as comforting knowing that if something were to happen, if he were on the Gulf, so, and then especially if you're riding places that you've never been before. So, for example, I had never been there. I don't know the water depth. I don't know the areas. Of course, there's people going to say that's not a big deal. You can just stay within your channel markers. That's 100% true. I've definitely ridden in places I've never been to before with nobody that has ridden there before, but you just have to be a little bit more cautious. So when you're riding with somebody that knows the area, it's just a little easier, right? It's a little easier. You can follow that person. And the second part is that person probably knows the good spots to hit, where to go. So it'll save yourself a lot of time. So,
Well, the other thing also is, and a lot of people don't realize, but obviously, there's still impacts of Hurricane Ian on those waterways, right? So a lot has shifted, and they've done a good job at dredging these channels, but they're not necessarily all done. All the dredging is completed, right? So even if you're in a channel marker, like I always wear polarized lenses because you can see right through and you can kind of capture like where the water levels are, low. Sure, everybody's like, "Oh, well, don't you have a depth finder on your ski?" Yeah, we have a depth finder, but they're useless when you're going 25 miles an hour, right? The water level is just changing so rapidly that it has a hard time keeping up. But that's another thing. If you're riding that area, just because you're in the channel marker, still, make sure you're paying attention. Take it really, really easy because, again, a lot of that stuff underneath those channels have shifted. And I know that there's a dredging project that is still ongoing in that area. So,
yep, very true. Good thing to let the people know.
the more you know.
That's it. So, Ray, let me ask you this, right? This is a good question to ask, right? I think I've even seen on your comments as well on your YouTube channel. I've definitely gotten comments on my YouTube channel about people asking to perhaps join one of these rides, right? To go out there and ride with us. And so I think one of the cool things that I think Ray and I will probably talk about and probably sooner than later. Maybe we'll go ahead and put some information out, but nothing huge. It's not a big ride, but maybe what we'll do is we'll open it, and I don't know, maybe the first 10 people, 8 people, whatever we kind of, think would be adequate for the area. We can go out riding there, and obviously, the area really well. We can hang out by Stump Pass. We can show the people all the areas that, that we bring them out on these YouTube videos, because believe it or not, I'll give you a perfect example, Ray. I forgot the name. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I forgot your screen name, but she knows who she is. She hit me up on Instagram because she dropped a comment on my YouTube channel after that video, the Stump Pass. And she basically said, hey, I follow Exploring Our Waterways, Ray, and I saw that you were on his channel, like you guys kind of did a collab. So she also checked out my video, and then she kind of found me on Instagram. And she's moving here from Hawaii. So she's looking forward to getting a ski. She's a little nervous because she's not sure how to back in, stuff like that. I told her, don't worry, it's going to be a breeze. You'll figure it out. But that's someone that pops into my mind of people that watch the videos and want to explore, but maybe perhaps they're new. They're definitely not going to go out there by themselves. And so an opportunity to perhaps join one of these rides, I think would be awesome.
No, that's definitely something to think about, and everybody has always asked me from time to time, look, I mean, I'm just going to be brutally honest here. I'm not a fan of the big rides. I've done a couple, and listen, you either are a fan of it or you're not, right? It's just kind of one of those things. It's just like in the car world, right? I'm not a fan of the car shows, but I'm a fan of going to the racetrack and watching people race, right? It's kind of a different thing, but no, that's definitely something to think about. I like to keep things a little bit on the smaller side. I think you know that already. Obviously for me, it's all about the safety of my wife and my daughter, which will also be joining. But definitely, look, maybe we do like a Stump Pass get together. We'll identify a location. There's multiple boat ramps in that area. Everybody can kind of just get from the boat ramp to our location where we meet. And then maybe we head to like Boca Grande Sandbar from there and kind of do a little bit of exploring in the area. Absolutely. I'm open for something like that.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I think a couple people, like I mentioned, we'll keep it really small, 4, 5, 6, something like that. And that way, obviously, safety being our number one priority, and just, giving people a taste of paradise, right?
So, it's funny. So, I forget who it was. I think it was Rob Chancleta last year. Him and I were talking about a water gun fight, right? So basically just, meeting somewhere and everybody just brings a water gun. Dude, I got this freaking water gun that's just badass. It's battery powered. It has a lithium battery. The thing can shoot pretty hardcore, right? Yeah. So what's that?
I don't have one. I'm going to have to go buy one.
Oh, dude, I can go show you right now. It's right next to me. It's in my closet here. But
I need you to subscribe to the channel and view my videos so I can make a little bit of money so I can buy that gun so I can compete.
Dude, I actually subscribed to your channel already. Oh, you're talking about everybody else.
Yes, I'm talking to everybody else.
I know. I was kidding. I know what you meant. No, absolutely. Listen, that's a great point, Obi. While we're at it, please, if you haven't subscribed to Obi Ski TV, definitely take a look at his channel. Really, really good content that Obi here puts out. Dude, you're back at being consistent, I noticed.
Yeah, man. I will tell you the last several months, it's been, I don't want to, how do I put this? I don't want to be someone that like just talks about it. So I figured, this time around, I didn't really go with that whole video of guys, we're going to really be back out there and stuff like that. I figured, it's not, but what I've learned is it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And so basically what I want to do is I just really want to put time and energy and focus around, like I mentioned, the previous podcast that we did, where I've gotten far and away the best feedback is people's comments around the exploring videos, where I'm out there, I'm going exploring, checking out new places, and people love those videos. And so I figured, it's going to be a decent amount of what I do. And I coupled that up with really talking to Ray about, hey, how do we how do we take our YouTube channels to the next level, right? How do we get better at what we do? And so there's a vested interest in that, I think, from the both of us. That's why you see us, we've been working together over the last couple of weeks, is because at the end of the day, we're taking the numbers, we're taking the comments, we're taking everything that you guys are saying by your comments and your views, and we're really looking to incorporate that to give you guys a channel that brings you guys what you want to see. So I'm fully committed to that. It's something that I used to do this because I love being out on the water. That's my number one love, why I love doing this. But the second part about really elevating the channel to the next level is like right there with it. It's gotten to the point where that's just as fun as the ride itself.
No, you're right. I mean, I think we talked about it a little bit on the last podcast. I enjoy that part just as much as I enjoy being out there and exploring, for our channel. And I think we talked about it last time. One of the things that I'm also trying to do is I'm trying to find that balance between jet ski content and non-jet ski content, because man, there's just, and we talked about this on the ride, Obi, there's just so much to see and so much to do in Florida that I feel like, I could also highlight other areas. Like last weekend, we went to one of those. Have you ever been to one of those big lagoon things?
I have not, but I've seen them.
Dude, this place was freaking epic, right? We went, I think it was called South Shore Bay. It's 500 acres of beautiful blue water. At the deepest point is 14 and a half feet deep, right? Mm-hmm. They have kayak rentals. They have paddleboard rentals. Dude, the place is just absolutely epic. We shot a video while we were there. Quite honestly, it's a good video, but I'm kind of like, do I even want to upload it to the channel because it's not jet ski related content, right? Like, I'm kind of playing that in my mind, dude, but it's a freaking sick place. And I'm just, if you guys are out there and you're listening, just let me know. Should I upload that video even though it's not on a beach or a spring or anything like that? But dude, Florida just has so much.
It does. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. So I agree, man. I agree. And listen, look at that video that you did on Gasparilla Island, man. That was so cool. That was so cool.
Dude, that was so much fun. That's another one that if you guys are looking for something to do like off the water, highly recommend Boca Grande, Little Gasparilla, which essentially is where we were at with our skis, right? But one of the things that I was also looking at while I was there yesterday was, I think our next adventure is going to be Boca Grande to Cayo Costa, right? And then Cayo Costa to, what is the name of that island? I just had it at the tip of my tongue. What is it? Not Marco Island. What's further north? Captiva. North Captiva.
Okay.
North Captiva. So I think we do Boca Grande, Cayo Costa, maybe do a little fishing in Cayo Costa, maybe do a little catch and cook while we're there, and then head from there to North Captiva, and then back to Boca Grande and back home.
Only if you promise me that I can film you trying to catch the fish.
Well, no, I think the funny part's going to be me trying to fillet a fish.
Oh, okay, but you're talking about spear fishing, right? You're going underneath to catch the fish?
Oh, hell no. What do I look like? Do I look like Brody from, what's his YouTube channel again? What is Brody's YouTube channel? YBS Youngbloods. No, dude, I'm not at that level yet. Come on now.
I figure I'd throw it out there. You never know. Maybe
you know what,
to it.
One of the things I definitely would love to do and get it on film, like kind of just film the process, is I'd love to become a certified diver one day. I feel like I got to start there and then work my way to.
I got my certification a while back, but the entry level, I don't remember off the top of my head. I want to say 35 or 50 feet, I think, is what I was certified to go scuba diving. So, and I haven't gone in a while, so I plan to potentially do that on the East Coast. They have this for another time, but they have these excursions where you can actually swim with bull sharks. I don't think that's scuba diving though; it's just snorkeling. But I want to try that. I want to try for you guys. Let me know. drop a comment in this video, or you can hit my DM on IG or whatever. The two things I definitely want to do is I want to go swimming with bull sharks, and then in the Everglades, there's a park where you can go swimming with gators. I want to do both. Do you guys think that'll be epic? Let me know.
I'm going to tell you right now, I think that would be really, really epic.
I want to do that. My wife doesn't want to, but I want to.
Yeah, you know what? My wife is, I don't know how, but I guess I can't say she's afraid of gators anymore. Like, we'll go hike. Have you ever heard of Mayaka State Park? Mayaka State Park?
Ray, I've seen your videos. Of course I have heard of it.
Dude, like, if you want to kind of just break the ice and, like, with gators,
go there.
That's where to go there. I mean, dude, you'll see, like, freaking, like, dinosaurs out there, right? While you're walking, and they remind me of my English bulldog in a sense where he just sleeps, right? They're just, like, laying down like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to touch them or getting anywhere near them, right? But yeah, dude, that is a great area to go visit. And they're just there, right? I mean, they're in the wild. You know, I know where gators tend to get, where I feel like when you hear of gator, like, bites and encounters, it's typically these retention ponds where, like, people just feed them. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the back of their homes and stuff. Like, you rarely hear of a gator attack. Like, there's some out there. So for the fact checkers out there, right? I know there's been gator bites or attacks in, like, springs and stuff like that. But, you know, it's very, very rare, you know? So.
Yeah, I'm just checking out the comments here.
What do we got? Anything good out there?
No, just Randy agreeing with us that the data doesn't lie, man. The data doesn't lie about the strategy around the channel and what we're looking to do. So I agree. I totally agree, my friend.
No, that's exactly that. I feel like that is the key. Is you got to take a data-driven approach, and there's fun to that. So
I think there is, yeah, absolutely.
Just like taking what you learned from one video, making it better the next video, and seeing, your average view duration, like, increase. Like, dude, I'm not even going to lie. Our last video that we just did together, right, for me, that was probably the best video that I produced. Produced like I'm freaking Steven Spielberg over here. I meant that we've put together, right? And how do it felt different as you're laying it out, right? And you're, like, editing and you're taking into account metrics from other videos and stuff. Like, when I exported that video, I'm like, this video is going to get some high engagement. And let me tell you, we might not have the views because, the channel's still growing, and I feel like a lot of the audience out there is very short centric, meaning we used to put out a lot of shorts and our subscribers just grew, right, with shorts. But I just feel like people that watch shorts, and I'd love to get some feedback from some of you guys that are out there, drop it in the comments. But I just feel like a lot of people that watch shorts just don't engage in long form content, right? So
yeah, that could be true.
Yeah, so I cut the shorts back to maybe one a week, right? I think it's been like 7 days since the last short. And I'm really starting to focus on just this long form content. And dude, I'm watching the metrics right now. This video has over 115 hours already watched. And it's been live since Saturday. It's my best performing video, 1 out of 10.
Yeah, it's good. And I'll agree with you, man. I think Shorts do their purpose. I think shorts, what you're going to do is you're going to get a lot of subscribers. You already know some of these are just people that they jump on their phone and they just, YouTube is like another TikTok, right? Where they just go through the shorts. So that's what you're going to get. And you're going to get subscribers that way. And that's fine. It's not a bad thing. I put out the short of when I was riding through Stump Pass and I dove in. To my surprise, that one got over 10,000 views on just a short. So that one brought in a bunch of subscribers. Now, are all those subscribers watching the long video? No, but I know that. And so I think what you mentioned, what's correct is, keeping it balanced. You don't want to have way too many shorts, but you also don't want to take them away either, because I think they also serve a purpose. You're not going to get all the viewers from shorts that are going to engage in the long form content, but you are going to get some. And, just seeing, I'll speak for myself, man, just over the last 2-3 weeks, I think it is, just seeing the growth of the channel and just the amount of views, and more importantly, like, so I think people normally jump to subscribers and views. And yes, those are important. But one of the biggest metrics that I always look at is hours. Like how long are people watching my videos? And yes, my subscribers have gone up. Yes, my views have gone up. But more importantly, the hours is right there with it. Like my hours have picked up 3, 4, 5 fold, just from engaging in videos. And this is not the video for it, right? But just, making sure that the titles match, making sure I had never put keywords. I never did anything of that in my channel. My channel was bare bones. I just put videos on and I uploaded them. And, Ray walked me through how to do all those things, man. Keywords, titles or chapters in your video, all these things, right? And it's paying off so much. And it's got me more energized to put even better content out, just because I'm just seeing, what that's doing, and the people are loving it, and, they're subscribing, and it's awesome, man. I will tell you, it's definitely hard. It's by no means watch this video and think, oh man, I'm going to throw a YouTube channel and in a year I'm going to have 1,000 subscribers or 2,000. Maybe, but chances are no. It's work. It's a lot of hard work. And I think I've been at it now for close to, if not 2 years. And I think now is where I'm starting to see the rocket sort of pull out of the station, where the first 2 years was just all time and energy and work, trying to get like 80% of the fuel, right, being burned just to get it off the ground. And now that it's kind of getting off the ground, now you start seeing some of the fruits of the labor.
No, dude, the interesting part, I mean, you nailed it. That's exactly kind of what we went through, right? And because we kind of started around the same time, I feel, right? I mean, our channels kind of have been growing kind of together in a way, right?
Yeah.
But you're 100% right. Look, worry about subscribers. If any of you guys are trying to do this, worry about subscribers up until you get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Once you get to the 1,000 subscriber mark, the number of subscribers really don't matter. It's all about watch hours, right? It's all about watch time. That's it, right? It's retention equals watch hours or watch time. And that's really what everybody needs to focus on. You know what I mean? It's like, because here's the thing too. I don't know if you've noticed, but the first 1,000 subscribers, dude, that was the hardest.
Oh my goodness. It took so much longer than I thought and so much more work. Whew. I know why so many people quit YouTube after the first couple months, because man, but I decided to stick with it. And to be quite honest with you, the reason I stuck with it was, there were times where I hadn't put videos out. I was just a little kind of burnt out. And dude, I had people hitting me up on my Instagram like, hey man, when's your next video coming out? Love your videos. I live in Canada. I live in Michigan. I live in New York. And, we can't ride here. So I love it. I was like, you know what, man, they're right. Like, this is amazing. Let me get back out there. And I just, thank God I didn't just say, yeah, this is too hard. I'm done.
Oh, dude. And you know what's funny? Like, if you go back to your old videos, I don't know about you, but me,
no,
I go back to my old videos. Oh, dude, I did it the other day. And I'm like, that is why the first 1,000 subscribers was so hard.
Rough. It's rough. I don't want to look back to those. They're not. Yeah. But listen, you know what? I choose to view them for what they are. You know what I mean?
It's just great to sit down, look at your original videos and set it up and play them and see in your project, just the way that you're just making changes and kind of learning. One video makes the next one that much better, right? It's just, it's awesome to just watch that progression. Randy actually said, watch time and likes are very important. And the first hour of an upload are critical if it gets recommended. 80% of your views are from non-subscribers. Yeah, that's about right. That's about what we're seeing. Most of our views are definitely from non-subscribers. So,
yeah, I agree. Well, I will tell you, I know the purpose of this video was to give you guys a little bit of background information of our ride. Ray, if I can sum it up, here's what I will tell people about the about the Stump Pass Boca Grande ride is we left out of a boat ramp that, thank God, we got there on time. We got there early because it did fill up rather quickly. So the first thing I will tell you is when you want to go on a ride and you're leaving a boat ramp, get there early because you just don't know. If the sun's going to come out, people are going to jump on their boats and head out in the water. It's Florida, for Christ's sake, right? Like, that's where we live.
Oh, yeah.
And so Get out there early. But heading out of Lemon Bay was awesome. Stump Pass was amazing. We pulled right up to the spot. One really cool thing about that is we got to explore that little, I guess it's like what are they called? Those it's what you call a barrier island, I guess is the right word for it, right?
Yeah, I guess that's what I would call it. Yep.
Yeah, so it's a barrier island. So we got to explore through the little, countryside of it where it's just beautiful. Like I love that stuff. If you see my video, going where nature is by itself, where it looks untouched is my absolute favorite. And we were able to go to the other side to the beach, which in and of itself, we could have spent at least a couple hours on the beach if we wanted to, hanging out there because it was like a private beach. There was nobody practically on there. So once we left that beach and Ray caught up because he was a little behind.
What are you trying to say? I'm old?
No, I'm right there with you. So we got back on the skis. We rode through the intercoastal. That was awesome. Dolphins everywhere. It's not all no wake. There's a decent patch of it where it's 25 mile an hour. So you're not sitting there, baking away like a lobster. But once you get to Boca Grande, we were probably there, Ray, for, I don't know, maybe an hour, if that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I had a pub sub, so yes.
Right. So let's just say we were there for an hour. And when I got home and, a couple of days later, I start going through the videos and I go through the drone footage. Man, Boca just, oh my goodness, it looks absolutely amazing. So all in all, people, I will tell you, it is an absolutely beautiful ride. If you're someone that loves turquoise water and sandbars and, just enjoying the beauty of Florida, maybe perhaps you like going to places that aren't packed, right? Like Miami Beach doesn't really do it for you. There's too many people, or Clearwater Beach is way too packed. Like even Siesta, like you mentioned, if that's something where that doesn't really, I don't know, tickle your fancy, then something like that, if you got a boat, ski, whatever, I personally definitely recommend it. I'm 1,000% going back. So really look forward to connecting with you, Ray, and seeing, next time I'm bringing my family, of course, because they saw the video and they looked at me with like one eye open, like, okay, you went there without us. But fair warning, they did have other plans. I didn't leave them home. But nonetheless, Ray, it was absolutely awesome. So for the people watching, couldn't recommend those two places enough.
No, you're spot on. It's just one of those places where even when you're editing the video, you don't even need to do any color correction or anything because what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
is cool, man. I agree. Exploring these Floridian waterways is a treat in and of itself. Absolutely.
Yep. So listen, Obi, thank you so much, obviously, for joining the live stream once again and talking a little bit about the ride. If any of you guys have any questions in regards to Stump Pass, check out, well, first and foremost, go check out Obi's video and our video if you haven't done so yet. If you guys have any questions regarding the area, please drop them in the comments on either Obi's channel or my channel, or drop them on the comments here, right? And we'll do our best to answer these questions because I know people do watch these live streams, later, not live. So please, ask us anything that you need. Let's go back to the chat one more time, Obi, see if anybody has any questions. Let's see.
No, I think we covered it, man.
I think we did. Well, listen, I hope you have
you as well. We kept it under 45 minutes from the beginning. We did good.
I know, it's crazy, right? Listen, have an awesome holiday weekend. Hope you have are you guys doing an Easter egg hunt or anything like that this week?
Yeah, we did it. We did it this past Saturday. So we got that out of the way. We did a huge Easter egg hunt here at our church at Fishhawk. And so that was awesome. And so we're just getting ready to celebrate Easter. So happy Easter, my friend. Happy Easter to you guys. And, definitely catch us out on the water again. It's what we love doing.
No, absolutely. And we'll update all of you guys, obviously, when Obi and I coordinate that little get-together or that ride. So we'll definitely work on that. And listen, we'll see you guys next Thursday.